Hola, bonjour, and hello, everybody. You are listening to Worldwide Tea. It is the podcast where every single week we cover everything going on in the international seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race. And as always, I'm Evan Sadi from Pot Matters.
I am Gregory Elwood from the playlist, sometimes the LA Times. And
Yeah.
Evan, I think we have a very special guest today. Am I crazy?
I'm getting an alert. There's a security breach in the Worldwide Tea offices. Someone has broken through sheer force of will alone. It is our favorite drag queen to ever walk this planet. That is right. The winner of Canada's Drag Race Season 6, Van Goth, is right here. Van, hello. How are you?
I'm so good. I had to come for my favorite podcast. I know I'm your favorite drag queen, so
Yeah.
I just, had to make time. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah. And you did come for your favorite podcast multiple
Yeah,
times, rest
multiple
assured.
times.
So that
Of
is well
course. I
known.
mean, hey, a little comment is good for the engagement. So it's kind of like,
Not mad at it.
Mutually beneficial, potentially relationship. Well, low key, I think that there is a lot for us to talk about. Of course, before we jump into the actual nitty gritty details, I need to ask the pageant question that is at the top of everyone's mind. Van Gogh, how has your reign been?
my reign's been a month so far.
Okay.
Not even a full month yet. It's been great though. I mean, it's been crazy. It's been a lot. But it's been awesome. I don't know, crazy. It still feels surreal. Like it still really has not sunken in yet. I don't know if it ever will. Maybe it will when I like film my step
The
down.
step down? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was actually
maybe
going to
that'll feel real.
ask about this, and I'm not to get this will not get you in trouble, but it's common knowledge. You have to do this pretty damn quick to do your step down look. Have you even put up a mood board? Have you started thinking about it? Or are you like,
Oh, I was thinking about my step down look before the season even came out. I don't know if you could tell this from the season, but I kind of like looks. Like looks are kind of my thing.
yeah,
So, I mean, I was thinking the whole time, like, how can I top myself? How can I do something new and different and unique? How can I do something different from the last five step downs on Canada's Drag Race? From what? How many? There's like 80 winners around the world. How many from their
Right.
different step downs? So, I've definitely been thinking about it. There is a mood board, and there's a couple designs floating around. It'll be fun.
do you want to do it, or do you want to come up with an idea and
Ooh.
hand it off?
No, fun fact, which I feel like I've never really said. I kind of hate sewing.
Oh,
Like, like I
you're so
loved
good at
it
Breaking
it.
the
on
narrative.
I loved it on Drag Race. Baby, being the best at something in a room full of people who are not good at it is an amazing feeling, sickening. But I really don't like sewing. That's why I left sewing to do drag. Like I fully have a fashion design degree. I could totally use it if I wanted to. And then I went, no, I don't want to be like behind the scenes. I want to be like in front of the scenes.
Mhm.
So Drag Race did like re-spark my love for sewing in a lot of ways, but I do find it tedious.
You don't ever get inspired and be like, oh, you know what? I just want to make this for this weekend or something. No, no.
And if I do, it'll fade very quickly. So
Well,
the
when you were
last time I
doing some
felt
of the
that
looks for
way,
your
sorry, the
when
last
you're
time I
doing some
felt
of the
that
looks for
way
your other
was
queens
when
like
Charlie
Aurora or
XCX.
whatnot.
Oh,
Sorry,
sorry.
sorry,
Sorry, go
sorry.
ahead.
No, go.
Go. For when you're doing like some of the looks for like Aurora or whatnot, there was that commission work? Was that inspiration work? Was that a mixture of the two? Like, how did some of those come about for love and inspiration?
Great question. So for Aurora specifically, I really wanted to get on Drag Race, and I felt like they weren't really seeing me when I was auditioning. So I was like, how can I put my name like further in their like minds? So then Aurora's like my best friend. She got cast in the show, and I begged her to make a look for her. I was like, please, I need to make a look for you. I feel like it'll put my name in like a different level with them, and they'll see like what I could do. And then she agreed because she's a good friend. And yeah, like it was kind of a commission, but kind of like just for a friend. And I just wanted to have them see me.
So we should assume that in case any future seasons were upcoming and a friend of yours asked if you would make something, you would be like, "I love you, but that part of my life is over. I'm going to pass. I will give you all the advice you need, but I'm not going to go to the machine for you."
I'd probably be open to doing like commissions for strictly Drag Race. Um, strictly Drag Race. Uh, a lot of my friends have definitely asked me for things, and I'm always like, baby, no.
And at this point, you can't afford me, baby. At this point, like the price went up. I don't know what to tell you.
I'll definitely do commissions in the future, but I think it just has to be something I really like and someone I like for.
Hmm.
So
Um,
while we're talking about the future, because I'm super curious, you said it's not even been a month yet, but
yeah.
this is the time of year where queens are planning out their summers, they're planning out the rest of their years. Has that been more busy than you thought it might be in many ways, or is it sort of like what you expected? Do you feel like you know a good sense of like the next 9 months of what your year is going to be?
Definitely. I think that like okay, so it's no secret. Like being on Drag Race these days is not necessarily as lucrative as it maybe once was. And not only am I not like I'm on Drag Race, but I'm on like an international season of Drag Race. And again, no secret, season 5 of Canada's Drag Race maybe didn't do the best.
We've seen the Instagram follower counts. We know. Yep.
So,
Hmm.
it's like going on to season 6, it's like I feel like my expectations were kind of on the ground.
Oh, you
And I think that's also why I acted the way I did, was because in my head I'm like, girl, whatever. If everyone hates me, they hate me. I don't care. Because like, if anything, I'll just go back to my own career that I had before Drag Race, which I was like working 4 nights a week in Toronto. I
Hmm.
have been doing drag full time for multiple years. I was like, I'm a successful queen in Toronto. Like, I'll be fine. Um, so, but I think that also like for a lot of us, the whole cast allowed us to all be like free of like the idea of wanting everyone to love us or whatever, and we just were a lot more honest,
Hmm.
which ended up making people love us even more as a cast and a group of people. And so I think the next 9 months are actually better than I expected in the sense that people actually watched Canada's Drag Race season 6 and like kind of liked it,
Uh-huh.
especially internationally. I have a few international gigs,
woo.
um, and more coming. So America, UK, maybe even Australia. So I am very grateful.
So wait, I wanted to follow up on that then. So when you guys were shooting it, you had known what the reaction had been to season 5. Did you feel like you were was it unspoken like, hey guys, we need to sort of bring it, or you know, we can only go up.
Amp things up.
Was it something
Yeah.
you guys even talked about?
It was something we definitely talked about as a group sometimes. Like it was definitely mentioned a little bit. I think also more so, even going before I met up with like the cast and before I was on the show, when I was preparing, in my head I was like, I think that Drag Race nowadays is about the moments you can create that will go viral online. I think a lot of people actually really don't even watch the episodes anymore. They just watch these like clips and these TikToks and these things. So I think if you can create moments like that, then you'll be fine in the long run. That's why I think a lot of my runways had like a gag involved or some sort of thing that I thought could be like clippable. Because I was thinking with that in mind. And I
Hmm.
think when we were together as a group, we definitely would talk about like how we needed to raise the bar in certain scenarios.
So
Hmm.
before I stop Evan from, because I know he has a ton of questions, I did have like two quick follow-ups on that.
Go for it.
Did you guys realize at the time that Paolo was going to be the internet meme that she was, or was it even beyond your expectations? And then second, a completely different tangent. If you can be honest about it, how are the Canadian queens feeling about the War on the Catwalk tour with not one Canadian queen on it? And what they have like 14 Canadian dates. By the way, they're not even coming to the US. This is
That's a good question.
like I keep waiting for like somebody to say something, and I don't know if it's because they're booking you guys to open certain shows and they haven't announced it, but like I don't understand why you're not part of the show. I don't want to get you in trouble with them, but I just
No, I mean, I don't work there. Um, that's a really good question. I think it is a little weird. Also, I mean, let's not really get into the optics of calling a tour the War on the Catwalk with all American girls and a Canadian. Anyways, that's also the optics of that are kind of crazy. But work, I guess. No, as far as my knowledge, none of the Canadian girls are involved in any of the dates of the tour. Would love to be there.
Just
Just one,
saying. Toss that out there. Yeah.
Oh, I've emailed. And yeah, Paolo. um,
yeah.
um, I knew Paolo was a star. I didn't realize how much. So again, like you're only like subject to what you're seeing in the room, right? Like I had
Right.
no idea she was like cleansing the space, doing all of that. When I actually first met Paolo, I was like, who is this mess? She was losing nails left and right, and she was sitting right next to me, and I was like, who are you? And I remember I kept looking at her going, what was your name again? Paolo? Okay, work. And I literally wrote in my journal that night, I was like, she's going home first. Well, that solves that problem. But then the next day, I heard her verse. And I was like,
We all heard it. We
we
all had
were
that
seething.
reaction. Yeah.
And then in my confessionals and stuff too, I was like talking about her, how much I like didn't like her. And then after I heard her verse, I was like, no, baby, I'm obsessed. No, baby, I'm obsessed. Like you just had to get it first. I had to be like won over. And then when I saw her trash bag even, and the judges didn't
The
like it, I was
legendary
like,
trash bag.
I'm
Yes.
obsessed.
I thought it
Like
was
best
good.
runway of the season. I'm obsessed.
I didn't think she should have ever been in the bottom. I thought it was a good look. Like,
Yeah, actually watching it back, I'm like, I don't know why she was in the bottom, but I feel like sometimes Drag Race, it's like blood in the water with a bunch of sharks.
yeah.
Like she was nervous, and I think that we all could just like, even like for example, episode 1 when we all said she should have been in the bottom. Well, not me, but other people did.
Hmm.
I like you only all said that because she was a weak link.
Right.
Like because it was an easy person to throw under the bus because no one really knew
Mm.
her. She didn't have a lot of connections or friendships, so it
Hmm.
was easy to throw her under the bus. But I'm like, it's not the truth. Like she wasn't the worst,
No.
Right.
but that's Drag Race, baby.
That's Drag Race, baby. Well, and there's Drag Race, and then there's the coverage of Drag Race, which I think are two very different things because you film it and then you see the reaction for it. And I think it was even from your intro clip where you said, I'm a love it or hate it type of
Hit
girl.
it,
You either
Kevin.
love me or you hate me, but you talk about me at the very least. And I'm sure you have. And certainly there have been other podcasts that I think have certainly been much nicer and kinder to all the girls. I've seen your appearances on Joseph Shepard and The Cup and all these wonderful places
Yes.
which are just so kind and here. And Greg and I, as we know, as much as Worldwide T LLC is a giant corporate multinational, at the same time, we are unguarded in our opinions. And I'd say, just out of the kindness and spirit of generosity, Van Goth, do you have any thoughts about our coverage of the season? I have a couple specifics in mind, but I just wanted to ask the question while we're all here. Let's be
Um,
real.
Disagree with what we said that you thought were completely and utterly off base.
Disagree. I don't know if I ever did that. That's crazy. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well,
No, Drag Race is so interesting. I think it's like, um, there is what happens on the TV show. There's what happened in
mhm,
my real life, and there's
mhm,
what people around the world perceive it like. And it's like it depends how it hits. Also, all of you, like what place you're in, how you see it, how you perceive it, and it's
mhm,
like I think because of that, a lot of things can get like. I'm not like a blaming on the edit girl because I think the edit was true. I just think it's like the nuance of conversation gets like lost or something. Like for example, it's like, and that's not a bad thing. It's like there's so many hours we film Drag Race, it's not a secret. And it's
right.
like that'll all play into who we save with the beaver, who we're friends with, whatever. But of course, the audience will only ever see like a small snippet of that. So when I make a decision that's informed by my lived experience, but then to the audience, it seems like I'm a brat or I'm just coming out of nowhere. It's like, yeah, maybe kind of true, but there's maybe more to the story. But in terms of your podcast specifically, I just think sometimes there are just interesting takes. Sometimes I'm
Hmm.
like I remember one specifically on episode 3, y'all
Hmm.
said that I
The design
might have,
challenge, Snatch Game split episode. Yes, yes.
yes, that I might have brought the catsuit underneath my dress from home. And it's like,
Okay, but in fairness, by the way, this just happened on UK versus.
yes,
They were allowed to bring home undergarments. I think Mariah Balenciaga's wearing
Mariah did wear something she brought from home. That was crazy.
right
Hmm.
100%. And I even know on US seasons, they've completely worn bodysuits underneath. So if you go back
Okay.
to how we said it, if this was like that, then blank. And also they never showed you making the cat suit.
We
Yeah,
saw the fabric on the table. Right.
there was like
Yeah.
a split second that like it happened because, and the truth is, I made it before a lot of the girls had even like designed their looks.
So
So it's
in
like
hindsight,
I think they weren't like catching me sew it.
now that we know that, we go, that's amazing. It would have been
Right.
great if production had
Finally, at long last.
production
Yeah.
had shown that. But no, you're right. But I do believe we prefaced it like, if this is the case, like blank.
Mhm.
But if not,
Yeah, and I think that maybe that just comes from the fact that I think for me in my experience,
yeah,
there was not a moment on the show where I wasn't met with she didn't deserve it. like, and not from y'all, they're from the world,
Hmm.
from the world. So I think like for me, it felt like so the first episode when I won it, it was always met with she didn't deserve it, which like okay, whatever, it's fair. Everyone has an opinion, say la vie. Um, but that's also hard to intake, right? It's like my
Yeah.
first episode on Drag Race, I won the episode, and now all I'm just hearing is I didn't deserve it. I'm like, okay, well, let's relax. And then it's like fast forward, episode three is like I'm like, okay, well, finally I'm gonna show them like I killed it, like I won that challenge. And then it's like she brought the bodysuit from home. Like, no, I made it. And it's like I and I know that you are allowed. Well, so in Canada at least, I don't think you were allowed to wear like a bodysuit like that. When I actually saw that on Mariah in the UK, I was like, that's so weird. Why they're allowing her to do that?
They do that on
Um,
every UK season. Yeah.
that's crazy. Even on Canada, we're also not allowed to bring our garments home with us. Like what we do in the room is what we do in the room. We
Wait,
we don't we don't take them home. We don't stay up all night. Like we don't do any of that.
do you wish you could?
No, I think that, and maybe it's a Canadian law thing. I think a lot of the competition is quite fair. I think that they try to do as much as they can to make it as fair as possible. Um, so we all get the same amount of time, down to the hour, down to the minute,
Oh.
and we also they have like a duty of care for us where they make sure we're sleeping properly and eating properly and not losing our minds. Because the truth
Hmm.
is, no matter what, if they gave us the garment to take home, we would all stay up all night, and then we all would come in the next day and be zombies, and
Right.
they would get these like interesting versions of ourselves. But
So this has happened on many seasons, though. This
yeah,
thing I'm going to throw you is what happens is the end of the night, something rips, and the next day is the elimination day. Would you not be panicked that you weren't going to have enough time to either make something new or sew it the first thing you come into the morning because they won't let you take it home?
yeah. I mean, I guess like there is still like other time that you can do that. Like it's like when you get ready, also, right? It's like it's your time. Like you can use your getting ready time however you please.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's like an interesting predicament of like how that would happen. But also, like, is that fair that that person who ripped their garment like gets more time than someone else to fix it? Like, unfortunately, like that is kind of the game. Like, you should think about how you're putting garments together. I mean, also
Yeah.
half the time they're using stretch dresses like no zippers. Like, I think that'll be fine.
So
Yeah.
you did just talk about how you were kept waiting that it felt like no one was giving you credit for wins, but in the
Mm.
episode, the second to final episode where you won the design part, we literally praised you. I mean, at least us, we're like, you made this like
Didn't
beautiful.
watch that episode. Not gonna lie.
Oh, okay. Okay. But
I think she may have turned off at a certain
no,
point, given
no,
some of the
but in
comments.
general, online, everyone I saw was like, "Oh my god, how did she make that? That looks more Vivian Westwood than anything else that anyone's done." Like, you know,
Oh, my last one, really? I feel like I did not see that. Maybe I'm just too tuned into people not liking me.
oh
Um,
no, with the plaid fabrics where you like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, really? Work.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well,
yeah,
thank you.
no, we were like,
Um,
great job.
that was my least favorite design challenge. So thank you. I hate that one. Um,
Well, you
yeah.
know what? You did pretty good. You can also talk if you wanted to be super bitter. You could be like, "Well, the competition, but also does it really matter when you clear the competition?" Like that's
And
the
that's the thing
thing at
too. It's
that
like
point. Yeah.
I think at a certain point, also, even when I won the Brooke Design Challenge, which was one of my favorites, people just kept saying,
Mm.
"Well, it's not fair. She has no real competition." And I'm like, "Is that
So
my
whose fault is
problem?
that?
Yeah, like,
Right.
is that my problem?"
That's not your
Yeah.
problem.
Also, to be fair, I don't think I've ever even sewn like that in my life. Like, I don't think I've ever been that good. And it's like that comes from the fact that I had no cell phone. I was like trapped in a room basically
Hmm.
with like fabric in front of me, being like, "Well, if you want to go home, you have to finish this garment." So I'm like, "Okay, well, let me get to work. Like, let me
Go
get to
through.
it."
Oh, I can't go to the phone right now. Can't check the socials. Guess I get
You
back to the
know, and
machine.
it's
Right.
like even
Exactly.
even right now, I have a sewing project I'm actually working on, and I have done everything in my life today to procrastinate it. Like I'm just like pushing it off on my phone, calling a friend. Like I'm like, girl, I just don't want to do it.
Listen, we're both writers on deadlines, and we both wait till the last possible moment. Like, I had a major piece that is
Yeah,
literally one of the things I'm most proud of, and I put it off all weekend because I just did not want to. Like, I get it, like 1,000.
exactly. And then
Um,
the worst part is you do like the best work under pressure, and you're like, well, I have to do this all the time now.
Right. Now it's like now there's this expectation that you're gonna
Yeah.
Raja O'Hara. Here's some fabric in 60 seconds, make us something pretty. Like like it's you I mean it's a good reputation to have. You're extremely good at what you do. But again, as because it wasn't Snatch Game, because there wasn't other challenges or things like that, it was so stacked we're at the point where people could put you in this box. You're just like, this is a this is
Yeah.
a Violet Chachki kind of situation. She won a lot of design. Like it could be a season 3 of U.S. Drag Race. So many design like however you want to do it. But like at the same time, the end of the day, if it's win-win, people can bitch about that win from the first episode as much as they want. Does it change the fact that you won the episode? No, it does not. Like that's one of those immutable facts
Wake it
over
up.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it just became like challenging to feel like out of all like there's definitely some people in the cast who got like hate like I did. Like PM, I think being like the main example. But I feel like other people in my cast who were like doing really well on the show were just constantly praised for doing well, and they never really got that pushback that I got. And I was
Hmm.
it's just like at a certain point feels like and like I get the whole don't read the comments, don't whatever, don't watch the review shows. It's like it's literally impossible. Like of course you want to know what people are saying about you.
Hmm.
Um
But then
but I think
also, but
no,
when you got it, you also were doing confessionals, which weren't done months later.
yeah.
But where you said like you knew you were giving villain, you mentioned it numerous times. So you must have known a little bit that you were going to get some feedback.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, well, define. Okay, so I did mention being a villain. Yes, I think that a lot of that comes from. I knew in the room that I was like the most outspoken of my
Hmm.
opinions, and
Yes.
the most. Okay, I call this like drag race. Wait, what do I call it? I forget. No, I used to call it something specific. But it's like where basically someone throws out an idea on Drag Race. Like, for example, Paolo should be in the bottom. And then every other person just agrees with it because someone already thrown out the idea. So instead of throwing out another idea, I'd rather just agree with the first one.
It's like the traders all over again.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
one just
Me,
one name in the circle. That's all it needs. Right. Yeah.
I'm not like that. So when oftentimes people would do that and throw out a name and everyone would agree with it, I would be like, well, I don't really think that. I think this. And so I knew in the moment that I'm like, okay, well, I'm the only one ever going against the grain, but also I don't want to just say I think someone's bad or someone's good because everyone else is. I don't agree with that.
Right.
So I think a lot of the times, and then people would start to say like in the room, like, oh, you're the villain, and I was like, well, I mean, villain's subjective, but sure. I mean, I look like a villain. Why not?
Well, the finale episode I think is a great episode, but all of a sudden, like, who's the biggest competition? Well, for me, Sammy's really in my lane, and the look that you can see on
Girl.
your face, that part where it just seems like the girls are like maybe intentionally trolling you, like I don't know at this point, but
To
it,
poke you. It did
yeah,
feel
Yeah, I don't know if they were trying to poke me either. I mean, so earlier, a couple episodes back, Karamook was trying to poke me about the dress.
right,
I
And
remember
Karamook was definitely poking me. Like
yes,
we go way back. Like she's poking me, and she still does, maybe to this day. Every time I see her out, she goes, "I almost beat you in a design challenge," and I go, "Girl, almost is crazy. Someone had to be second."
right.
Um, but she's a sister, so I think that like when I got to the very end with Ebony and Sammy, I didn't really know Ebony that well before the competition.
Mhm.
oh,
Even though we were so close when we filmed it, I
Right.
didn't really know her that well outside of it. So I think I just got to a point where she maybe was trying to like poke me, but I was like, I'm not having it. Like, I'm not
Right.
having it. I don't enjoy this. And it's funny because I'm saying I felt like I was undermined for my wins outside of the show, but I also felt that way on the show. And I felt like if you like really go back and watch it, after I won episode one, no one really goes like in the room, let's all congratulate Van for winning the challenge, clap, 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 moving on. Like how they always do on Drag Race. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like those stupid little no one does that when I win the challenge. Nobody says congrats. So it's like, and in real life too, that just didn't happen. Like, I think maybe Star told me congratulations, like whispered in my ear while we walked back in the room. And it's like,
But
so
that's
I
before
always
you
felt
denied
like
her the beaver. Right. Yes.
oh, well, yes, that's my sister. Oops, my bad. So I always felt like they were like kind of like jabbing me a little bit.
Mhm.
And I think that it comes from the fact that like you don't ever want to say the person who's doing the best is actually doing the best because then you're like
Feeding the
in
beast almost.
yeah, you're
Like,
also giving the TV show you're on the footage of you admitting the fact that you think someone's better than you.
Hmm.
or like et cetera, et cetera. I think a lot of people were thinking that. So I think
Yeah.
in a lot of ways, I think why Ebony didn't say my name could be was poking me, but also because she didn't want to admit the fact that the only person she really felt like in the room she could lose to was me.
Hmm.
Well,
And
this might have already answered my question, but it was I was going to go back to that final
mhm,
episode, and it I have to say, like we've watched every fucking season of Drag Race, all of them, and that moment with you and Ebony is some of the tensest like that I've seen in any season, any franchise, and I remember beginning thinking like, oh, they're playing it up for the cameras, and then I was like, oh no, wait, no, you are not. And my follow up to whether what that experience was like
mhm.
was, did you feel as though either you or any of your sisters on the season were thinking about it as being more television than a competition? Or do you think
Mhm.
most of your sisters were always thinking this is a competition, whatever gets captured gets captured?
Good question. I think there was like a good mix of like both sides to the coin. Like I think on the
Hmm.
television side, like I definitely was thinking of it as a television show. Not that I
Right.
was like creating or like trying to force myself to feel things.
Mm.
Um, I wasn't, and I still very much like everything I said, like I still like agree with myself in the moment in the context of the competition.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but it's like I think the difference of like what I was like on the show versus real life is maybe in real life I wouldn't always say it out loud. Or like wouldn't do that in like a room full of people. In real life, I might pull you to the side, have a conversation where I felt maybe more productive. But in a television show, I'm obviously just gonna say it out loud because that's where we are. I think that like me, Ebony, Dulce, Sammy, kind of all were like knew we were in a competition show, and I feel like a show specifically a TV show. I think maybe
Yeah.
people like Velma, Saltina, maybe struggled or Maya maybe like thought they were maybe more in a competition than they were a TV show.
That tracks.
Well,
Like,
I think Saltina just when she's not in a TikTok, she doesn't know where she is. Like it's very hard to track. I'm kidding. I'm
Yeah. Well, so
joking.
maybe actually maybe Saltina actually did know we were on a TV show, but that she knew too much. She thought too much about being on a TV show.
Right. It's like when Candy Muse is like I was like when she was on All Stars. It's just like I am the most polarizing queen on Drag Race, and it's just like saying that out loud sounds weird. Like that's the kind of thing where it's just like I know I'm on a TV show. Like that's not necessarily the thing that the
Yeah.
audience
Well, oh my God, I
needs.
feel
You
the
know?
same
Yeah.
way though when I called myself a villain when I first walked in. I feel the same way of like maybe I shouldn't have said that. Like shouldn't have said that wording. Like I should have just like
Hmm.
let the evidence speak for itself and then let you all decide what that meant.
so going through,
Can
please, Evan, go, please.
Okay. I was going to say that before you were on Drag Race, you were a fan of Drag Race, and I think there was at
Yeah.
one point you mentioned that you were did a joke troll comment to one of Aurora's posts that got a lot of traction. It was like the most like commented thing on one of her posts back in the day. Like you've had fun with it, you've been at the fandom, you
Yeah.
know how it is. Being on the other side of it, like you saw Aurora go through what she went through, you saw Perla go through what she went through. To be on the other side of it when people are directly speaking about you, was that a different kind of experience dealing with? The love hate and also what was like the percentage of people who absolutely loved you thank god we finally have someone like this on the season versus people who are just like I can't stand this bitch.
Good question. Um,
Worldwide T.
Watching them go through it is nothing like going through it yourself.
Yeah,
I
I
think
can imagine.
a lot of the time, like Perla specifically, would often like comment back to like hate or comment back to people talking about her in any way, shape, or form. And I remember I always told her, I was like, stop doing that. Like, stop feeding into it. Like, you're just like giving them more power. And then cut to maybe I'm commenting back sometimes. And then I'm like trying to tell myself, like, maybe stop. Like, stop commenting on this fucking
Right.
podcast. Like, move
Yeah.
on. But it's like, it's easier said than done. I think a lot of it becomes like, it's really hard to have someone talk about you as a person that you're like, that's just not true. That's not what I meant. Or like, no, 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 no. But it's like at the end of the day, you kind of can't really change people's. You can maybe a little bit, but like I think feeding into it sometimes is like not helpful.
Hmm.
Which is also, I mean, low key why I was like, I'm so down. Like, let's do an interview. Let's do it because I'm
Right.
like,
Right.
this is such a more interesting way to have a conversation than commenting on a post and whatever, right?
Yeah.
Um, it's a lot harder in IRL. The percentage of people who love and hate me, I mean, I don't know. I think I really am quite polarizing. Um, and I think that okay, this is what I think. I think the people that do not like me are more so the people that will be on Twitter, like tweeting about Drag Race. So in those
Hmm.
kind of poll scenarios, I'll always lose. But I think the people that do like me are people who are like normal-ish people who like have jobs and lives and are not like on Twitter accounts with like hashtag team whatever, like
Hmm.
tweeting about drag queens all day long. And not to say that like those people don't also like me a little bit, but it's like I think more so I see people in real life who come up to me and say they really love me, specifically like mid-30-year-old gay men who are like, you remind us of like
You found your
old,
demo. You found
no,
your demo.
literally. They're like, you remind us of like old drag race, you remind us of like older like drag queens, like classic drag queens.
Clock it.
Um,
Yeah.
and I feel like also people felt like I wasn't very like trying to sell you something, trying to sell a tagline, except for maybe when I said clock it a million times, but you know, say Livy.
By the way, when they did that montage, I remember we talked about it. Like, I didn't even realize that it was a like that you had been doing it. It was
Those
like,
shady Canada editors
I
strike
don't think I
again, let me
realized
tell you.
either, to be honest. But then I actually someone on YouTube made a montage of every time I ever said it on the show, and I watched it back and I'm like, oh my God.
I
Every time
also
I won
saw
a
to
challenge, I said clock it. Every single time. Work.
clock it.
But going
I,
back to this quick subject, I just had a quick follow up. Do you at least feel respected? Because I feel like there's some queens who win, and I'm not going to name names, but they win
Mhm.
because of how the competition falls and where placements happen, and they just happen to be there at the end and they win. But I don't think any person who watched the entire season would not say Van Gogh did not deserve to win and does not deserve respect as a winner.
Yeah.
You
Yeah. No, I definitely feel respected for sure.
okay? So that's, to be honest, that would be the most important thing to me is
Yeah.
you're respected among your peers and the fandom.
Oh yeah. Also, I think that like drag queens also obviously really like me because I do good drag and I'm kind of a bitch. So maybe that's like what drag queens like. But no, yeah, I don't feel respected. And in a lot of ways, like once the initial storm passed after the finale, I feel like a lot of people were like, you know what? Like I really wanted Ebony to win, but Van Gogh did eat it. And it's like very acceptable comment. Like, cool, great, amazing. I think it's when people start to say things like production pushed me to the end, or I didn't deserve it, or like all those kind of like conversations. I'm like, girl, be real. Production did not give a fuck. Like, they do not care enough to rig it for me.
right.
Unless they do,
Like
and then that's also kind of fierce. If they really did rig it for me, that's so fierce. Like,
get those Tia Coffee shirts that say push by production she had after UK versus,
did
like,
she?
just make that happen. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Listen,
That's
Van Gogh wants
fierce.
to work with World of Wonder again someday. Do not
That's
put her down this road. Like, do not.
that's right. That's
No,
right. That's right.
I truly do like love everyone on like Canada's Drag Race. Not even trying to be like pageant answer, but I did love filming the show, and it's just like to me, actually one of the biggest takeaways I had from Drag Race when I left was how fair it felt. And
Hmm.
I can't like speak for anyone else who's on a different season or anyone else who's not on Canada's Drag Race, but to me, Canada's Drag Race felt very fair, and it felt like in the moment I could go home at any minute, anything could happen,
Hmm.
and I think that a lot of time people ask me like, oh, when you had like two challenge wins, when you had three challenge wins, like you knew you were gonna make the finale, right? I was like, no, baby.
Right.
My hardest episode was episode 8. Like I was like in distraught. I was like, I'm gonna go home. Like it's over. Goodbye. And it
Hmm.
was just like the stress of the competition obviously was really getting to me, but also just in general, like I mean, I kept it inside. I wasn't like letting
Right.
it all out on the camera, but internally that was my hardest episode. And I think that comes with like the fact that I felt like they did such a good job of making it feel like anything could happen at any minute. And it doesn't matter how well you've done or how well you are doing. If you fumble the challenge, you'll end up in the bottom. And if you fumble the lip sync, you will go home.
For the most part, yes. I think
That was my personal experience
no,
being
no,
there. I
I
mean,
Yes.
watching it back, obviously, it doesn't look that same way I felt, but it's like it did feel like that.
you know what? You can speak to this. I feel like we say this to our listeners all the time. Can you talk about having experienced them and now seeing them, how different it is to watch a lip sync in person on that show, on that stage, even from the back, or
Oh no,
as
down.
opposed to, and then watching it and going, oh, now I understand. Like,
Yes.
maybe not.
Well, I think the number one difference is like, and this is goes for anyone who's ever been at a drag show in their lives. There is
Right.
an energy in the room that can be palpable, and that can sway an audience, can sway a viewer. So in a room, you can feel someone's like want and desperation and fire, and like from the back, you can feel it, and so you can like really get into it. So I think the biggest example of this, I think, is Sweet Surrender. Um,
Mm.
could not see anyone's lips. I was so captivated by PM's like nothingness, stillness. Even from the back, Ebony and I were like holding each other, looking at PM like,
She,
and
who
in
knew
my
she
head I
had
was
this
like,
in
Ebony,
her? Right.
thank God you
Yeah.
fucking saved me. I could have gone home right now. I think that like, but watching it on TV, obviously, wherever you're watching it, you're subject to your environment. Like if you're watching it on your phone on the train, it's not really gonna feel like a fierce battle. Or like if you're watching it on TikTok, it's not gonna feel that intense or that energy that's in the room. I think that like that is what's going to separate people who are fans of draggers and fans of drag. Because anyone who's been to a drag show before knows that feeling of a room and the ambiance, the atmosphere, the way it feels. Also, the music on Drag Race is so loud, which I love because it makes it feel so legit. Like I'm like, it's
So
sickening.
that's weird because I've been to a bunch of finales. It is not that loud when they've done the finales. So that's a
Oh,
wild.
really? Damn.
You're
Maybe everyone in the room is just too loud, too much space. But well, my experience, they crank the music and it's fierce. It's very fierce.
So, sometimes it's different hearing it when you're on stage versus the speakers and the pointed towards the audience. It can be a very different kind of
Yes.
vibe. Yeah.
Also, probably like where we're standing in the back of the stage, probably like, a speaker like right next to us. Like it's probably like right behind there, just like
Yeah.
blaring at us.
Wait,
Yeah.
I do have to ask this. Did they ever explain to you that Brad was not coming back?
No,
Like,
no,
is there bad blood? Like, do you have to
no. Brad posted about the show, being like they asked him to come back, but
Was
I think
Demi.
he was just busy with like Demi Moore, to be honest.
Yeah.
okay. But they
Honestly, I mean, I can't speak to like what it was like to have Brad on a season. I never had that, but I lived for Carson.
love him.
Carson brings just like this very like whimsy energy, and it was so much fun to
Mhm.
have him. And then Hollywood's great also. I feel like it was fun to have like a rotating kind of spot.
Yeah. Two quick things, real quick. Number one, when you were having the fight with Ebony in the final episode, I give all the credit in the world to PM to be like, you know what else is really cut? The fact that we get to choreograph with Hollywood Jade. I'm like, girl, I love you so much. I love you so much for trying to break up the tension, and it just
Ooh,
didn't work.
the
Yeah, I love
tension
that
was
they included that in the
fierce.
edit. It was incredible, incredible. Greg, I don't know about you. I have two last things for Van Goth, but I wanted to see if there are any other outstanding questions that you had.
Go first, and then I'll finish up.
Okay, so I just a couple super quick tweets that I pulled up on here because, as we know, you are the Twitter vixen on here. Just some brief commentary, if you could. Number one, this is from 2020. Canada's Drag Race Season 2 is just a Twitter war. How do you feel about that now?
Funny. Oh my God, I hate people go through my old tweets. I'm like, damn, I really should have deleted all this. Canada's Drag Race Season 2 is just a Twitter war. What was I referring to?
I don't
Um,
know.
I
Some of
don't
these
know.
are
I
out of
used to
context.
comment
I'm
on
just
Drag Race too
curious.
much, to be honest.
Yeah.
But fierce. I mean, I guess Canada's Drag Race Season 6 is also a Twitter war. So I guess
Yes,
Drag
I.
Race is just always a Twitter
The,
war then.
the cycle continues.
Yeah.
From 2023, you're referencing what I believe is either a Philippines episode or a US episode because you say, Canada's Drag Race, please study this episode for how to light, film a lip sync, and create storylines, which I'm not
I'm
sure.
definitely talking about a US episode. I've never watched
Okay.
Philippines.
Okay.
Well, I watched Malaysia Royale, but I didn't watch any like the other Philippine
Right.
seasons.
Yeah.
Um, and I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know
Listen, we
what?
all
I think that they would have taken. I think season 6 was actually done quite well in comparison to past. Actually, this is crazy. I used to have such a pet peeve with how Canada's Drag Race would edit a lip sync in the early seasons. I felt like it was such jumpy cuts,
like the
and I was
teleporting
like,
around the stage kind of thing. Yeah.
I'm like, can we just get like a nice like framed
Wide. Yeah.
shots? But I felt like on my season at least, I was pretty happy with how they edited lip syncs.
Oh,
Yeah.
Canada's one of the best edited. I do still think to this day, and if the next time I see Brooklyn Heights in West Hollywood, I've told myself I don't care if I have any drinks or not. I'm going up and telling her they have to fix the fucking lights. I cannot
They got
like
a bit better.
the. I feel bad for you and some of your sisters sometimes because if you guys came out in some of those outfits on other stages, those outfits would look better than whatever weird fluorescent like like here's the thing, you know that a look is amazing on Canada when it comes out looking super good because in real life it looks incredible.
Uh-huh.
Like I remember seeing oh my god, who was on Global All Stars?
Oh,
Oh,
oh, let's pause real quick. One. We're coming right back after we just lost Van Goth for a quick second of the edit. Go.
Paolo Perfeccion just FaceTime me. That is what happened. That's what screwed up my phone right now. Paolo Perfeccion just FaceTime me. And I said, sister, I have to decline this. Decline. Anyway, sorry about that.
no,
You're
it's
good.
okay. I was just gonna say, we were just talking about the lighting, but about how
Yes.
amazing it looks like. But I'm trying to think of who was on Global All Stars. Evan, why am I forgetting? Who's the Canadian
But
queen?
yeah.
Yeah.
Her looks on Global All Stars looked utterly incredible, and it's the same design,
Yeah.
and it's just
Hmm.
different light. Anyway, I have
Yeah.
two quick questions for you. But no, go
Yeah.
ahead.
I was gonna say, okay, I don't really like the new American stage though, because I think it's almost too big and black.
It
That
is.
it like kind of
Hmm.
like the girls have to go huge on the scale to make anything be impactful anymore. So I think I like the old American Drag Race stage a lot and the lighting. But yeah,
Although I don't know if you know,
Like,
it's a very short cast. Like I've met them all in New York. They are like one of the shortest Drag Races cast. Who do you think's the tallest on that cast?
which Darlene
Yes, Darlene is, but she's only
or
six.
Sierra.
No, Sierra's always wearing
Oh,
like
platforms.
platforms.
Those
Um,
Easter Islandy. Yeah.
platforms.
but Darlene is like barely 6 feet and a half. Like she's not like even Kenya Pleaser is
Okay.
short. Like it's sort of shocking, but that's a little bit of it. Like
Yeah.
Juicy anywhere near the shortest person on that cast. Like never. I know,
Juicy
right?
looks tiny.
Clock it.
And Juicy's like
Clocked it.
five.
Juicy looks tiny.
Oh, she's like 5'9". Yeah,
Five.
yeah. You'd be surprised.
Damn, she's
Yeah.
kind of tall for her.
Um, for her. But two quick questions for you is first is I
Yeah.
have to know where did you get you because no one else does this move. Where did you get your signature handstand into a tumble move?
The one that I do every lip sync, baby, and I still will. Um, Actually, oh my God, they were so kind to me. I think I did it like 3 times in the first episode, and they only really showed it like once, one and a half.
Okay.
Because I did it twice in the music video, not
Hmm.
knowing that I would then go on to lip sync against Brooklyn Heights, where I
Right.
then did it again, because naturally, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
So anyways, thank you so much mwah, to editing team. Love you so much. Um, I don't know where I got it from. I used to just do like a straight tumble, and then I also used to do a handstand. And then I used to be like, oh my God, it'd be so fierce if I like put them together. And I think there was a drag queen in Ottawa. Her name was Devonna Coe. She kind of did like almost it. Like
Mm.
she did like a very slow kind of go into a roll, very graceful. And I was like, okay, if I do like a full handstand and then kind of like have like a really clean tumble after, I'm like, that'd be fierce. So
Okay.
I've never seen that. I've seen drag all over the world in person. I've never seen. You're the only person I know who does it, and you make it look clean and as clean as a triple jump in the Winter Olympics. It's perfect. And my
Gregory,
last,
that's so sweet. We could have been friends this whole time. That's so
I know we could
nice.
have my,
Yeah.
my my last question for you is: out of the entire cast, who are you still close with outside of Paolo, who clearly just was FaceTiming you? Who do you feel like you're still going to be good friends with 10 years from now?
Oh my God, 10 years from now is crazy. Paolo for sure, obviously, number one answer. I talked to Hazel a lot. I talked to PM a lot. I talked to Maya a fair bit. I talked to Velma. I definitely keep in contact with like everyone in a way, but
Hmm.
I mean, 10 years down the line. Um, who else am I really close with? I talked to Ebony here and there. We work together a lot. I feel like I work with Ebony the most now, post show. So I feel like we always have like a little bit of a connection from that. But we're definitely maybe not as like tight as we once were on the show.
Okay.
But we're still definitely close friends. Just maybe not as like scissor sistery as we
Were
once
for
were.
production. Yeah.
Listen, it happens in company.
Maybe for marketing.
Remark. Um, Evan, are there any last questions before we let Van Goth go on to the rest of our night and we do a deep dive into tonight's very dramatic UK versus world episode.
Probably the last and
Let's
most
do this.
important question I have, outside of, I did want to ask you about the tweet where you said the drag race girl group to thirst trap soft porn pipeline is very, very real. I thought that was you posted about that, which was,
And
but you don't have to comment on
I'm not free of that stereotype either. But it is very interesting how girls get on Drag Race and then they just become like soft porn in their accounts. I
Yeah,
live
it's what they,
sometimes, but sometimes I'm
Right.
like, maybe stick to the drag.
Yeah.
right.
Stick to the
But the
drag.
actual last question I have is obviously we are
Okay.
worldwide T, and I know you've watched Canada and you've watched US and you watched Selection Royale, and from the sounds of it, you've watched
Mhm.
España as well. So I just wanted to know
Yeah, I watched season
of
one.
the yes, I just want to know of the other non-Canadian girls, and let's even maybe even say maybe even non-US girls, do you have a favorite queen outside of the North American region that you want to shout out?
That's a good one. I'm not gonna say US. That's just a cop out.
Right.
Or UK, low key, also a cop out. I think, I mean, Carmen Frala on Espana season one was sickening. Also, I love Dovima, just her aesthetic. Dovima obviously is very in line with me. I
Mm-hmm.
love, what was her name? She was just on this last Espana season, Denbolia.
Denabella.
Yeah, Denebola
Denabella.
Murnau. Yeah.
She is fierce. Oh my God, fierce. Great drag. And then also, Kiana with a K from Philippines is sickening. I'm trying to think of another worldwide franchise. I really love France as well, and watching All Stars was really, really good. Mami Wata is sickening. And I also really like on France. This is kind of a weird answer, but aesthetically, I really like Cookie Cunty. I really like
Yes.
a lot of her looks and point of view sometimes. So I like Cookie Cunty a lot. Yeah.
I'm hoping that the next time they do an All Stars that Cookie's finally on it because I thought she would be on this one. I'm a fan.
I thought she would have been on the first one, but yeah, I hope she's definitely on the second one or on something. Actually, I think France also would be like the best place for her versus like a versus the world. But
100%. Yeah.
Understatements. Speaking of that, would you ever come back? Would you ever do another season?
I would love to go back. I would love for anything. Loki, I would go back for anything. I would go back for versus the world. I go back for whatever. If they call, I'd say yes. I had the most fun filming Drag Race. It was the best time of my life. And I also am like a little petty, and I would love to prove the she can only design girls wrong. And I would love to do Snatch Game. I prepared so much for Snatch Game only to not to do it. It was like so heartbreaking.
And you're keeping that a
Understood.
secret, right? You're not telling people what you were going to do.
No, I was gonna do William Shakespeare,
Oh,
but it would have been fierce. I've done it in the past, and I had all these like fun little jokes and bits, whatever, and I had a very strong point of view. It would have been way better than Lady Cam did on season 14.
Not a high bar to cross, and you would have absolutely crossed it, rest assured. Well, from me and Greg to you, thank you so much for not only engaging with our videos, but also low key willing to speak to us, willing to jump on the pod. I don't think a lot of queens would necessarily have the chutzpah to do that, and I just appreciate that you're willing to come here and speak with us face to face directly, and I appreciate that so much. So, absolutely, cheers to you,
Thank you for having
the
me. I
winner.
mean, thank you for having me. I think like when I watched the finale, I opened the finale episode. I said, you know what? Let me give it a watch. I watched that one, and then when you guys were talking about like how you weren't invited to an interview, I was like, well, I never said anything, and I was like, I don't want them to think that it was like me going to production and being like, I don't want to speak with them. I hate them. So I was like, you know what? I was like, let me extend an olive branch, and I'd be more than happy to come here. So thank you for having me. These are also you guys had really great questions, like very insightful questions.
thank
So.
you.
Thank you.
Sadly, we do this for a living and we know how to.
But it's what we do, it's what we love doing, and it's because of queens like you. Yeah.
It's why I'm single, because all I know how to do is interview people. It's all good.
I'm done. Well, you'd make a sickening first date then. It'd be a great interview.
Next time Van's in LA, you never know what's gonna happen,
Uh
baby. You never know.
baby,
You
haters to
never know.
lovers storyline. Oh my God.
I can't, it's happening in real time. And also, if PM ends up being single at any point, let my husband know because I think they became very obsessed. And it was his light. So by all means, just you
With
know.
PM? Oh my God.
That's
People would love
they them
that.
Zussi. What can we say? Van, thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful night. We appreciate you
You
so
too.
much. Take care. All right.
Thank
Bye
y'all. Bye.
bye.